first impressions of the 5-minute journal. So I finally got this book after years of hearing Tim Ferriss and Alex Icahn and other podcasts talk about it, and I finally tried it out. You know, I kind of didn't understand the concept of buying a whole journal on this because I'm like budget conscious. So I'm like, why can't I just use scratch paper? I thought it was just some ploy to make more money, but I also gotta say that this journal has been quite useful. At the very least, I understand why other people use it. First of all, journaling as a whole is something that is incredibly effective and a bit of a hot trend, maybe a bit overhyped, but nonetheless very useful. Journaling at the start and end of your day, after I've been doing it with 5-minute journal, has really helped me realign with my goals and reflect on if I actually did them. So there's accountability and alignment there. And that little tweak makes a huge difference, because usually I just get out of bed and do whatever I want. Maybe I'll do some mental prioritization in my mind, but just writing it down as a whole has really helped me just crystallize what I really need to do and actually get me to do it. And it really also helps me see into the future and actually ask myself on a daily and weekly basis what really matters, what actually gets me to my life goals, my long-term goals in health, wealth, relationships, and happiness. Finally, you know, looking back at the end of the day has been huge, because it's really helped me pretty much identify the fact that, hey, you didn't do these goals even though you set out to do them. And sometimes I'm pretty shocked at the fact that I don't get to a lot of my goals. For me, it's not usually that I don't get to them. It's often because I am scared of them. Procrastination is usually just a proxy for fear. Fear of rejection, fear of judgment, fear of getting out there and, you know, making a fool of myself, fear of people not liking me, fear of you know, something going wrong, fear of, or just distaste or disinterest in certain thing. So this has been very helpful. As far as things that I think could be better about this, I think they use a lot of very mainstream, trending scientific studies and practices to back up what they tell you to do. It pretty much tells you to list 3 things you're grateful for per day, and that's very obvious if you've spent even an hour studying the science of happiness. I'm a personal development junkie, so I've read all the books, all the science of happiness books, all the studies, all the lesser known studies. And for me, I think it's very surface level. Like, you don't need to do it 3 times every day. There's also been studies that have shown that you don't get much more of a boost in happiness if you do it more than once per week. And then the other, like, surface level exercises they have you do, they're great, but they're very generalized. I think what could make this book better is to really crystallize what your goal is. So if they could branch this out and do a book on the 5-minute happiness journal, and then a 5-minute wealth journal, and then a 5-minute productivity journal, a 5-minute mastery journal. And this is something that John Lee Dumas is doing with his mastery journal. So technically it is kind of happening, but I would love to see more science-backed stuff, which I know plenty of. So if Alex Icahn is watching this video, hit me up. I would love to give feedback. Overall, great book. It's been shockingly helpful, and there are some great activities in here. Maybe they're not fully science-baked and fully thoroughly thought out and fully, you know, hyper-focused towards specific goals and the specific science-backed exercises that can get you there. But nonetheless, this is from a guy who is a 7-figure net income earner, Alex Icahn and Mimi Icahn. That means net after expenses. Like, he makes $1 million plus per year from his businesses, mainly Luxy hair, but also this one. And with this, I just find that incredible. So you have the insights from a seven-figure net income earner on what he recommends you do to earn more money and live a more fulfilling, happy life. Because this guy, Alex Icon and Mimi Icon, after they were making that much, they were like, we're still not happy. So they also went on a whole journey to be happy and find work that was fulfilling them and filled up their time, rather than, you know, just sit on a beach bored. So that's incredible. A lot of people nowadays on the internet brag about being a seven-figure business owner, but after you pay for expenses and employees and everything else, they're truly just four-figure or five-figure per year owners, which isn't a lot of money. So you gotta be careful about what they brag about. That's all I gotta say. Check it out. I'll leave a link in the description for this book. If you purchase through my link in the description, if they do offer it on Amazon, then I will get a commission at no extra cost to you, but you don't have to. You can just purchase it on your own. Again, these are my honest reviews, so I'm not saying this book is a guarantee. If there's a product I guarantee will help, I recommend probably the book The How of Happiness. I think that's just a great A to Z book on the science of happiness. This one, I think it's a nice to have, but if you are strapped for cash, or if you had to bet your life on if this book would make a major impact on your life, not necessarily. I know a lot of people who buy this book and they never can stick to doing it every day. So that's another story on habit formation and how you stay consistent with it, which I'm fairly effective at and wasn't always. So check out my procrastination and habit formation videos on how to actually do this every day.